What we want and what we believe should be done is that a level playing field should be provided in which all parties can confidently contest. For example, like I was saying to Malpe before, I am contesting an election. As I sit here, this is a rerun within a rerun. There are areas where elections are to be held. There are areas where elections are not being held. I don't know how these areas were arrived at. I don't know how many votes I have. I don't know how many votes my opponent has. But my opponent is not talking about it. He is not concerned about it in the election he is going into. So that means that he must have information that I don't have. Instead, all they are shouting is, oh, we had meeting, we did this, we did. But the real issues that should concern a political party going into this kind of contest, they're not concerned about it. Why? Because they have that information, and I don't have it.
So bygones are still not bygones, because the allegations you're making seem to be fresh, and or they have been there, and they have not been addressed, have they?
Well, we believe, that's why I said that there are issues for INEC to resolve, and there are issues for the security agencies to resolve.
But considering
the issue of security is for the security agencies to provide an atmosphere where elections can be held peacefully. That's their responsibility.
But considering the weight of the allegations that you're making against INEC, do you have confidence that INEC can actually conduct free and fair elections in this situation?
Yes, if they address these issues, why not? It's for them to look at the issues, and if there is clearly merit in what I'm saying, because you can't go into an election, you don't know how many votes have been recorded for you or recorded against you. So if you get a result from this rerun now, what do you add it to? And you're going into a race. You need to have an idea of how fast or how hard you need to run in order to win. If you don't have an idea, how do you start running? So I think that these are all issues which INEC had promised us that they will resolve before the rerun. So the rerun has not held. So there is still time to resolve these issues. There is still time to build confidence in the process. There is still time to address some of the issues that we are raising. And I believe INEC should try and address those ones that are their own concern. Everybody hitting INEC on account of security, I don't think that is fair. That is not their responsibility. They don't have the tools. They don't have the capacity to provide security. That is the responsibility of the security agencies. And with the meeting we had yesterday, I believe that they're upping their game in that respect.
How important is winning to you?
Winning is not that important. What is important to me is that the process should be acceptable. If the process is acceptable, and I want to say this for everybody to hear, you know, people just don't understand certain things. I am already a winner. By coming out, offering my services to my people, providing myself and my abilities to them the way I have, there is nothing you will say that will not make me a winner. Anybody who comes out and offers himself to his people, I've done a lot for my people. Winning this election is not a do or die affair. You know, so I'm already, anybody who has the courage to come out, face the kind of things we have faced, and make your point before your people, you have won. So it is not the declaration that makes me a winner. What is important is that the process should be free and fair. And everybody who knows my own particular district knows that if there is a free and fair contest, I cannot lose. It's not possible. You know? So let's make the process fair and open for everybody, peaceful and non-violent. Anybody who wins at that point, we thank the person. The person will serve our district. Nobody is going to serve the people of Cameroon, you know. But we need to have this understanding.
But when you say that, you know, it's not possible, it already means something else. I mean,
no, it's not, because the dynamics.
Means that it will be difficult for you to accept those results.
No, if it's free and fair, I mean, why wouldn't I accept it? If it's clear that this is what the people have said, what people say, you see, in a free and fair ballot, what people say in front of you may not be what they'll say when they're left with their ballot papers. So as long as I know that the people made that decision, I'm fine by it. But the people should be allowed to make that decision. You can't make that decision in the face of bombs. You can't make it in the face of AK-47s. And when people say that if you are not popular, you cannot rig, that was before, not in the days of the AK-47. If 3 people come here with an AK-47, everybody is going to run for their life. So popularity has nothing to do with elections when so much violence is involved. If we take out the violence, then the issue of popularity becomes something for people to look at.
But both sides have been involved in the violence.
Well, I really, in keeping with what we agreed yesterday, I really don't want to trade blames at this point. What I have said publicly and privately is that no matter who is involved, whether you're APC or PDP, this thing should be brought to a halt. And anybody who is involved should be brought to book, no matter how highly placed. So if there is any atom of violence that is traceable to Senator Abe, let Senator Abe be punished. And let people see that nobody is above the law. So I'm not going to stay here in the spirit of what we have agreed, that we'll all work together and we'll all try to build an atmosphere in which the conversation will be civil enough for these elections to take place. To say it is PDP or it is APC. All we're saying is that these things are being done by people, they're being sponsored, money is involved, all the materials that are used in violence actually cost a lot of money, and whoever is involved, either as a participant or as a sponsor, should be punished under the laws of our country.
Gentlemen.
But before we let you off, Senator Abe, quickly here, when you talk about punitive measures to those people who foment trouble, can we also bring it before the politicians and say, perhaps since this is also about money for reruns, shouldn't the political parties be sanctioned so that they can also contribute financially for any rerun? Perhaps that can whip them in line.
Yes, I agree with you, but in the present circumstances, that would be difficult. 3 reasons that would be difficult. First is that the laws do not provide for it, and without some legal backing for that, some legal process that actually says that you have done something wrong, I don't see how you can be fined. The second thing I would say about that is that you find people who have done something wrong. So you will still need some kind of process of adjudication to rule that, okay, Labour Party did this, and so for that reason, Labour Party should be held accountable. In theory, all the parties are saying they want peace, they don't want trouble, but people are still making trouble. And the parties have never punished any of their members to say, okay, you did this in violence, so we're suspending you, or nobody, the parties don't do that.
So you see a role for them too?
I see a role for the parties. I see a role for all Nigerians. And I believe that without addressing, and with the fundamental issue of violence in elections, our democracy will remain a mirage, because the wrong people will get into office.
Senator, at this point we have to thank you for coming on the program. We've been speaking to Senator Magnus Abe, who was a member of the Senate and is currently a candidate in the Rivers Southeast Senatorial District elections. Thank you so much for watching. It's back to Lagos Studios.